So, I think we're live. Yeah, we are live. All right. So what's up, everybody? I just want to welcome you to another live chat with your good buddies, me, Cholula's Comics. Want to introduce my brother from another mother, Tat Comics.
What's up, everyone?
We have a special guest joining us today, Davis Comic Finds. Say what's up to everybody, Davis.
Hey, it's been a while. Probably been 4.5 years since I've done a live show. So back in the We Love Comic days. So,
Oh, did you? Were you did live shows back then?
yeah, it's been a long.
Oh, nice. All right. And apparently we're gonna be joined by our good buddy AG Surfer pretty soon here. But thanks to everybody for joining us today. I would like to start today's chat just picking back up where we left off last week. You know, we were talking about con experiences, and going out and meeting some of our favorite creators. One of the guys we were talking about last week was the late great Stan Lee, and we have our buddy Davis joining us this week, and he's going to be showing off some of his Stan Lee books and talking about some of his experiences in meeting Stan. So I will go ahead and turn it over to our buddy Davis here. Take it away, Davis.
Okay. It's probably been, well, I can look at the date on the book. It's 2013 whenever I met Stan Lee, and got a couple books signed. It was very much a factory, like an assembly line, like everybody said.
Yeah.
You know, would like to got to shake his hand, but didn't get the opportunity. And I got in the line. I was just really starting out in comics, and had never cracked a book before, so I showed up with two uncracked books, and it was
so the books. So the books were just raw already, huh?
Well, I had them graded by PGX, so they were. I had a 6.0 of the first book and a 6.0. Well, they were both 6.0s.
So let me ask you a question. Did you crack them yourself?
I cracked them at the show. That was the first time that I'd ever.
Oh, no way!
And I had to have some help to do that. And
how'd you do that? What'd you do?
I went to the CGC booth, and they're like, "Hey, those are PGX. We can't help you with that." I'm like, "Well, I'm going to be submitting them to you guys anyways."
Right.
So they helped me a lot, and got these two books signed.
Your screen's starting to freeze up again.
Yeah, I think we're losing you. We're losing you. All right. All right, we're going to put you on hold for a little bit here, Davis, since we're having technical difficulties.
It's all good.
Hey, Tat, do you want to start? Oh, I think you're back.
Oh, he's back. You're back now. Okay.
Back.
Go ahead and show that book again.
Show the book again. All right.
Oh.
I got a 6.0. It was a 6.0 PGX, so it came back a 6.0 from CGC.
Did you have it pressed by CGC as well, or?
This book's never been pressed.
Wow. So the rumors are not true.
Not necessarily. And it's got some pressable defects. I
Yeah.
don't know if it would take it up a grade, but I mean it does have some waviness. But
yeah.
Got that.
Davis has the best luck with getting PGX books and turning them into gold. That's all I got to say.
I've never had a book come back a lower grade.
Really?
From PGX.
So, and it sounds like you don't usually get them pressed either. Is that right? Is that fair to say?
I didn't whenever I started out. Now recently I have been.
Yeah.
But these two books I actually haven't had pressed. The other book that I got signed, and this one is signed by Stan Lee, and we also got signed by John Romita.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Is my 50. See, this was a PGX 6.0.
Okay.
Hold it there for a little bit because it froze.
Whenever I got the Stan Lee signature, it came back a 6.0 CGC. We good?
Yeah, so
still,
that's okay. So I mean, at least the audio's still coming in. So it sounds like, did you say that when you originally got the first signature, was the
Are we
first
good?
signature Stan on there? Davis,
So,
was the first signature you got on that one Stanley? Yeah, we keep losing you, buddy. We keep losing you.
Are
All
we
right,
good?
it's in and out.
Keep
It's
losing.
choppy.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. All right. Hey, Tat. So
yeah,
you were telling me about some of the books that you wanted to show. So let's
yeah.
jump over to you for a minute and let's talk about some of those.
Okay. Well, the one thing figured I'd show is some books I showed them a long time ago, but it's been that long ago. Just some of the other artists that I met at Comic Cons
Yeah.
that I had a few books for, and one of them was Ryan Sook on this Kirby Genesis, and this is number one. I saw the cover, and this is the first book I believe I bought by Ryan, a cover done by Ryan Sook, that I just fell in love with his artwork and how he draws, and he did it right there in bronze, I want to say.
Yeah.
And he has like a nice little signature. So after that, I mean, I got hooked. I got hooked on his stuff, and now whenever I see a Sook cover, I don't second guess it. I just grab it. I really like his artwork, and he was a really nice guy. Just chill, laid back. He signed it. Huh?
I was just saying, oh my God, he's such a nice guy. He really is. I got to meet him at SF Con a couple of times actually, and he's really good friends with Mick Gray, the inker.
Yep.
And he's just a really good guy. Like, you keep showing your books, but I just wanted to interject. Like Ryan Sook is such a cool dude. Like, really cool.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say Mick Gray, because that's what I have next I was going to show. And I believe he didn't charge me too at the time. So Mick Gray, coolest thing about this guy was, when he saw these covers, he lit up. He was like, oh man, I remember doing that. And he was sitting next to another gentleman. Can't remember who it was at this time. It's a long time ago. I'm getting old. But on this one here, this is back in 2016. He first signed it in red, and it didn't come out that good. So he's like, oh, he felt really bad. I said, hey, no, take silver, go over it. So he did that. So I got him signing it twice right there.
Oh, I got that book by Mick too. Yeah.
Yeah, signed with red behind the gray. And I love this cover, and he was such a great guy. I mean, I just handed him book after book, and he knew exactly where to sign. I didn't have to tell him where to, and the locations that he chose, I was really digging, and I definitely want to meet him again, get some more of my books signed by him. But he was a chill dude. And this one he did also in gray. I like this cover a lot.
Yeah, he did it in gray because he's Mick Gray, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. So did you meet him up in Oregon, Taddy?
No. I met him down in Cali.
Yeah.
And this one right here. Signed right there in the water.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah. Mick Gray. So as cool as I was saying that, well, actually, hold on one second. Let me pause real quick and give a shout out to the chat. It looks like we got Four-Way Flashers on Comics in the house. What's up, man? Our homie all the way up from Canada. Thank you for dropping in. He says, what's up, fellas? I love the old school guys getting back together.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And then, of course, we got Frosty. What's up, bums?
I ain't gonna show a whole short box there, Frosty. Chill, man. Chill.
Yeah. Nah, that's the homie, though. I got a hell of love for Frost, man.
Yeah, no, I do too. I got stories about that, man.
Thanks for coming out and supporting, fellas. Really appreciate it. No, so I just wanted to tell you. So that's cool that you met him here in Cali, chat. Mick Gray is actually a local guy. You guys know I'm here in San Jose, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like down. He's on the other side of town from me. Like, I've been to his house, like not in his house, but I've gotten
stalker.
Yeah. Hey, you got Uncle Randy. I got Mick Gray. All right.
That's right. Okay.
Hey, is all.
No, Mick is a hell of a guy, dude. Like, honestly, he's like super nice, super chill. He's a local guy. He's here from San Jose. He's also an art teacher, so he does a lot of. He's like one of my favorite inkers. He's got a lot of detail in his inks. He really takes his time with stuff. He has a good eye for detail. And he's also a teacher, I believe, an art teacher for a school in San Francisco, like maybe School of the Arts in San Francisco, something like that. But yeah, man, really cool guy. Like, I've gotten commission stuff from him. and like I'll leave it at a con with him, and he'll be like, "Oh, you're local, right?" He's like, "Why don't you just come pick it up at my house later on?" Like, and he's done it. Like it's pretty cool. Like because he wants to take his time and do it.
Oh yeah. Well, not to go off subject too much, but like that's when I did that picture for Randy. I drew Spider-Man. I gave it to him and said, "Hey, go ahead and throw whatever you want on it." And he says, "Okay, I'll have it for the next Comic-Con that I go to." And I went there and he didn't have it, and he felt so bad, so he went home and he mailed it out to me. And now I got his address, but he's my uncle, and it's pretty cool. I mean, he's up in Portland. He's a great guy, Randy. But that's another show. Like Frost was saying, a whole short box. I just want to give a quick shout out to Uncanny Kawaka. He's in here too.
Yeah, man. Kawaka's the homie, all the way from the other side of the globe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just got 6 more books I'll show, and then I'm good. We'll get back to Davis because it looks like his is starting to his camera's working better now.
I'm going to show one.
I went with my phone this time around, so it's a little bit better.
I wanted to show one thing really quickly, just because you brought up Nick Gray.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a scan. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is a scan of a book. This is my first commission piece that I ever commissioned out to any artist. It was done by Mick Gray in 2017, as you see right here. Let me see if I can make this any bigger. Yeah, there we go. So it's Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1. Came back in 9/6. He did it in the Batman animated style, Batman the animated series style.
Right.
Dude, he was so cool and gracious about this. He was actually kind of freaked out. I guess he said I was one of the first people that had ever asked him to do a commission on a blank sketch cover. So he was like, "Are you sure you want me to do this? How do you want me to do it?" And I was like, "Dude, you're the artist. I trust you. Whatever you're gonna give me is gonna be badass." And he did not disappoint. Like, I love it. He signed it in gold with the black and white. Like, it's amazing. I was super pumped to get this signed. It's still in my collection. I just didn't want to dig it out right this second.
Right. No, that's cool. I'd definitely like to see that in person one of these days. That's cool, dude. I like that animated Batman. And I also want to just give a quick shout out to Ray D. He's also in the chat. He just popped in. So the next books I'm going to show are done by Carl Kessel. The cool thing about him is when I met Carl Kessel, that was up here in Oregon, and I went up to him. I said, "Hey, I have a few books. Do you mind?" He says, "No, I'll sign them." He signed them for free, and I let him use my paint pens. And my green was not working that day, but he liked the pens that I brought him, so I let him keep my AG blue, which I call, because blue is for AG. Jacket pen. I didn't give him my Murphrinator red. I had to keep my Murphrinator red. So, anyways, he signed some Superman books for me.
We got to switch that to Cholula red.
Yeah, Cholula red. There you go. This one you could barely see, but it's right there. But I don't care. It's in my collection. It's my book. Yeah. He did this one. It came in okay. It's red. He did it in red for me. It's Spider Boy. And let me see here. I can find that. It's right there.
Okay.
And I mean, he's such a cool guy. The nice thing about meeting some of these artists too is that I found out a lot of them. He did this one in blue for me, right across the chrome, which was nice. There's a lot of these comic book writers, inkers, whatever you want, authors, whatever. They all play music. I found out this guy plays guitar. My uncle Randy also plays guitar. He also could play. He plays guitar. And a couple other guys that I met, they play like drums and everything like that. So it was great. I got to talk to him not only about comic books. Did this one in pink. I got to talk to him about music. I got to talk to him about music, and that was awesome because I still have to make a trip up to Portland one of these days, hook up my Uncle Randy and go to this jazz bar he's been talking about. I want to go up there and I can actually go up on stage and play with these musicians, which would be just fantastic. He did this one in red.
That's a really interesting point that you bring up, that a lot of these artists, and I mean artists in the form that they're actually, people who draw books, right, are also musicians, which, of course, another form of art. And I think it's just like once you're artistically inclined, like it's like a language, that you just pick up. I mean, and not to put you on the spot here, but, everybody knows that Brother Tat, like, he gets down, man. He draws, and he's a badass drummer.
Oh, thanks, man.
So
and a snowboarder.
We're talking about art here, Tat. We're talking about art.
Hey, snowboarding is an art. You got to be good at it, man. Can't hit the people down below from you, man. But no, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
But
man.
that was all the books I wanted to show. Because I really want to hear your guys' stories, especially some from our good old buddy there from the Hall of Justice there, Davis Comic Finds. But thank you guys for letting me share. Now let's see the real books. Let's see the real books. I mean, not saying mine aren't real. Not saying mine aren't real, but let's see some of these good books that Davis Comic Finds has to show us, man.
All right, let's head over to see what Davis is doing. It looks like we're gonna do a take two over here. Take two.
Stronger connection this time around.
Yeah. There we go.
I don't have that.
So where we left off with you were telling us about how you just had gone up to the CGC book, and you had to get in a fight with those guys to have them help you crack your books. They didn't want to crack them because they were PGX books originally, but you were like, "Hey, I'm submitting them to you guys, so help a brother out."
Yeah, I'm trying to give you money here,
Almost made me spit my beer out over here, Dave.
But I got to this one. I think this one, like I say, PGX. It was a 6.0. It came back whenever I got the Stan Lee signature at a 6.0 CGC. Then I got the Romita put on. I blame AG Surfer for this. It came back a 5.5, but
oh man,
yeah, it's my fault.
Oh, and look at
pressure cleaned either. So
and look who we have joining us now, Mr. AG Surfer himself. All right, he's gonna play. He's gonna be shy. You keep going, Davis. Let's see your books.
Yeah, I'm here for Davis.
I've got a couple more Stan Lee books here.
Let's see them.
This one I purchased online. I paid less than a 7.0 with just John Romita signature just went for when I got it. But
oh man, that hurts.
6.5, and I love the signature placement.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Right on the suit.
Oh man, that's cool.
He was made to wear those Sigs right there. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I thought that one was pretty cool.
It is, dude. I'm jealous. I need that book. I want that book. That's nice.
And then Chalou, you helped me with this one. This is one I bought raw that was signed and got the red label. And I'll actually be sending you a few more books to get a red label, and whenever I get them. But this is my Marvel Tales issue 35.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Hard to got glare, but
yeah, there it is, top right hand corner, right above the vulture.
Stanley.
And
Romita.
Romita right down here.
Oh, Romita, nice.
Yeah.
I know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a really nice copy of the book.
It is.
And it's got Craven on it. So, I mean,
Yeah.
driving factor right there.
That's your boy. Craven's your boy, like Wolverine's my boy.
Yeah. So, that's the Stan Lee books I have currently. I've got 3 more raw ones coming.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how those turn out. I'll probably red label those too.
Yeah, thanks for the preview pics that you sent to the Hall of Justice, man. Those were some awesome looking books you got coming.
Definitely.
Yeah, Punisher 1, Spider-Woman 1, and a Daredevil that's signed by Romita and Lee. So
yeah, that's a come up right there, dude.
We'll see how they turn out.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna move it over to our good buddy who's joining us finally, AG Surfer. What's up, man?
Hey, you a little tired surfing there, bro?
A little bit.
He got back late from the beach, guys. He's surfing too much.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish that were true, but yeah.
Oh, someone got a phone call.
Phone call.
Who has a landline still?
Not me.
What is that? AOL, dude? Dial up? What the hell?
So we went over. We got to go over some of the books that Tat was talking about. AG, I'll fill you in real quick on what you missed. Tat was talking about some books that he got to show off, that he got signed. He talked about Ryan Sook, and he brought up Mick Gray, who's actually a local guy here in San Jose, who I know, and really cool guy, great artist. I love his ink work. I've got to meet him. He's a local dude, like I said. Davis just got a chance to show off some of his Stan Lee books, and I believe you had a couple more stands that you wanted to show off. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess as long as we keep doing the show when we can. I mean, I can always just show a few stands here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All the key signatures that he has.
Yeah.
That was, for those of you guys that don't know, that was AG doing what I like to call a little humble brag. He's got so many Stan Lee books that it would be like a 5-hour show if we saw all of his Stan Lee.
Maybe an hour or two, but yeah, no, it's because I was chasing Stan Lee starting in 2013, and I was going to pretty much every con starting in 2013 that I can get get Stan Lee's autograph, because I knew that obviously he was an older gentleman, and he obviously, when I first met him, he was really sharp. He was really on point. He was fairly active. He seemed fairly active. Obviously, he was alert. He wasn't sick or nothing. And then almost 6 months later, when I met him again for the second time, he happened to pop up at Big Wow, and that was like I think a few days before Big Wow kicked in. All of a sudden, they made the announcement of Stan Lee. It's like, holy crap, we already had our tickets, and then the fact they mentioned Stan Lee, then the place they sold out or whatever. And but the second time I met him, he wasn't doing so hot. He was a little ill. He had a different set of handlers. This guy was just slinging books, and the books that I wanted to show for that story, I don't have. So I'm not prepared. So I'll have to show him next time.
All right. So do you have any stands to show today?
But I do have some stands.
All right. Yeah.
You know what though?
I don't have the two stands that I want to talk. Mention that Tad had mentioned like last week with the.
The only thing I want to say is the Smithsonian will basically be going to my brother AG there when they need to look up some books that Stan Lee did, because they're going to ask him to maybe let them borrow some for a while. Put in their museum.
Hey, I mean, to be honest, I mean, off the top of my head, I could say at least 20 signatures from him. So I'm sure there's a few more, but I mean, I'll just say 20 because that was the last time I counted on autographs.
Quit being such a Stan hoarder, man. You're a Stan hog.
I am, yeah. Well, he was such a privilege to meet. He was such an amazing guy that, I just had to take the opportunity to go get him and meet him, and especially when my buddy's talking about him and going out and seeing him.
I like what four-way
flasher. I'll show a Kirby in just a minute.
He says, I've got only one Stan Sig, but I'd like to get another one. I got to get a Kirby first. Yeah, man.
Kirby's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I have one, but I never got it legitimately authenticated. But it still looks legit to me. But I think on the Kirby Sigs, I think his wife was known to possibly sign or something when he didn't, or something like that. So that's what I heard. But who knows? Anyhow, I'll just show you this. I'll show you this Captain America 109. This was signed by Stan Lee back in 2013, and this came out pretty good. I think it's a really nice grade. I submitted a lot of these back just for these special labels.
Oh,
so
I
was able to get that Captain America label before they canceled it.
I missed out.
Yeah,
those are dope, man. Those are really
so
dope.
this one's pretty nice at a 6.0.
Yeah.
We're not worthy.
Oh, and you got the AG blue on it.
Yeah, back then using those paint pens, and it was from my buddy Eddie that the second time meeting Stan Lee, that Eddie, my buddy Ed, was the guy with the paint pens and introduced me to those the Sharpie paint pens, and you learn some issues with those pens at that point. But
it's nice though, man. That pops. That signature pops right there.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of my favorite covers, and it's just I was really lucky with this one. So that's one there. The other one I have is this is. I mean, they're all I don't know what to say. They're all my favorite covers. It'd be tough to pick just one, right?
The 20.
Yeah, it's Avengers 7, and I got that Avengers label.
Oh, nice.
And again, this was when I met Stan Lee in Portland for the first time with Tad. It's like the guy from what's that? Tool Time. Hey, Tim.
Oh,
I don't think so, Tim.
Neighbor.
Yeah, but Stan Lee, and there's no bags and boards. There's no bag and board windows. This was just taking the books out of the bag and board, and he's handling the book raw, and he don't even placement. I had no clue about placement. I just figured they would know where to sign and what to do. That he wouldn't sign over some guy's head.
Right.
So I got real lucky, and the spot is just perfect in my opinion. Excuse me.
You know what, AG? I think this was before we even started taking paint pens too, because I didn't have any paint pens at that time.
Yeah, this is before paint pens, bro. This is Portland Comic Con was like, I think I just showed up with a basic, black, gold, and silver Sharpie, and then, they had a couple of different color Sharpies at this table, but there was no paint pens, So just those two there.
All right. Cool. So another thing that we got to do.
AG Surfer's next video, my top 20 Stan Lee signatures.
There's Davis.
Yeah.
That would be a good one. You should do that. You should actually do it.
Top 50.
So Stan Lee's one of the guys we wanted to talk about today. Another thing that we got the opportunity to do recently was, and Davis highlighted on that just a little bit, was we got to submit through AG. We did some John Romita Sigs through the CGC private signing that he had. And each of us, almost all of us, got the opportunity to do that. So, Davis, if you want to show off some of your Romita Sigs.
I've just got a couple here besides that ASM 50. I did 3.
I did 3 as well.
First one I did was the 50, and then I also did this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think this one's not been pressed or cleaned either. And actually, I don't know, maybe this one has been. I think this one has been.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was pressed and cleaned.
Yeah, we got this one clean. I remember now. And it's signed by Romita here down at the bottom. And then AG got Conway on it. It's kind of hard to see his up there. So that one turned out pretty cool. But my favorite book in my collection, actually, and I was shocked this one wasn't pressed or cleaned, but actually got a grade bump.
Whoa.
So
what was it? What was it before? Oh, nice.
It was a 9.0 before, and it came back a 9.2.
Was it a CGC 9.0?
It was a CGC 9.0, yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, that thing's fire.
There you go, guys. I mean, and that just goes to show that what everybody says is true. Grading is subjective. It depends on who your graders are, what kind of days they're having, what they see. Like a 9.2 in one man's eyes is a 9.0 in another's, and is a 9.4 in another's, and you're kind of just like, you're left up to the will of the comic gods at that point,
Yeah, that thing's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah, I like to say this one went up a grade. The 50 went down a grade. So you can't win them all.
No,
it was a wash then, huh?
And honorable mention.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, John Romita. Look at that.
Super Pro. Cool, man.
$10 book. I got it. So.
Oh yeah, there's no way you're passing up for $10. Jesus.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Romita's another guy with a great sig.
So.
Yep. So, like I said, most of us got the chance to go ahead and submit some books for Romita, myself included. I went ahead and look at that. Hold on one second. Got to give a quick shout out to the amazing Murphy Maynader 1028, who says, "Beautiful." The guy who made the window board rules.
Yeah, we know who that was.
Yeah, totally. And actually, Murph was one of the guys who he got some books. He jumped in that signing experience with us, right?
Definitely. And yeah, Romita and Murph was the guy that made those windows. That's why he rules.
Yeah. Let's see if Murph wants to jump in on one of these with us one of these days, huh, Murph?
Yeah, if you want to get in here, Murph, we'd love to have you.
All right. So like I said, we all kind of got a chance to submit some of the books. Oh yes, I got to highlight that response. We all got a chance to.
Hey, I'm sorry.
What was that?
Murph says send a link now, so we'll see what happens.
Murph wasn't gonna now. Oh damn.
I'll send the link as soon as I'm done showing mine because I can't multitask. I'm gonna be all over the place. I'll send the link to Murph. Tell me where to send it, Murph.
I haven't had enough to drink yet. Can't bring it in.
All right, so I'm going to show some of the books that I got to submit for my Romita signing. I took the same approach that I did with Stan Lee. Like some of these old timers, some of these like greats, like definitely like Lee. Romita is one of those. I took the same approach that like Neal Adams as well, in that I want to have at least one of those signatures in my collection per kid. So every one of my kids is going to have a Stan Lee. Every one of my kids, at least one, right? Every one of my kids is going to have at least one John Romita. Every one of my kids is going to have at least one Neal Adams. So I did 3 books. First book that I got signed by Romita is Amazing Spider-Man number 39. And you guys all know this iconic cover. He signed it here in red. It is perfect. I love the placement. I had him do it in red because it's right there by the fire. It came back a 4.0, which I was happy with the grade. What I was kind of down about was that it came back a qualified grade, and it's a green label. And after checking the grader's notes, what ended up happening was the book is actually missing a page. Fortunately, it's not a page that affects the story in any way. It was an advertisement page. So at least on the grader's notes, it says does not affect story. So that's cool. But
I got one of those too.
Unfortunately, I still have that, quote unquote green label of death,
I think the purple label's the tough one. Green's not easy, but the purple would be the harder can be a tougher disappointment, I should say. Yeah.
Dude, I agree. I'm sorry. I was over here laughing because Four-Way Flashers, he says, I feel sorry for Cholula's Comics surprise 4th kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hit eBay or something, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, he might get Daddy's collection. He might luck out and get all the books Daddy's got.
Jeez.
Daddy's gonna be out of trouble,
The cool thing about this book though is I didn't put. I think I paid a little. I mean, definitely less than market for what it came out. I contacted the seller on eBay afterwards, and I told him what the story was. He was actually really cool, really gracious. He even gave me a partial refund because I told him the whole story. He was a really nice guy, so I more than broke even on this book. I'm still coming out ahead. If I ever feel like getting rid of it and getting another one, I can, but it's for the PC. It's for my kids. It's still for the experience, so I'm still happy to have it in my collection. And it looks beautiful. It presents well,
Oh, that's awesome.
Worst case scenario, guys, lesson learned on my end. And I always say that with these shows, I want you guys to learn stuff. Learn from our experiences. Learn from what we've done. Check your books. Go through it. Before you submit them, count the pages. Make sure your books are intact, and you're going to get back what you want,
Dang, sorry. No, you're right.
Next, and the like I said, I'm not sure if I mentioned. I just wanted to say really quickly the importance of this book. Why it's so important is this is Romita's first work on the Spideys, on Amazing Spider-Man on the title. So, still happy to have this book in my collection. Next, to finish off the series, Amazing Spider-Man number 40, and that one came back a 5.5. And at the request of AG Surfer, who was smart enough to say, "Hey, get you a Spidey label on there," I got it. So I'm really happy with this book. He signed it here, I believe, in dark. Did he sign it in black? Yeah, it's black, but still, it looks good. It looks really good. And I'm super happy with this book. And then last book that I have to show for my Romita signing, Amazing Spider-Man number 59. And this is the first cover appearance of Mary Jane Watson. Not her first appearance, but her first cover appearance. He signed down here in black. And I still got that beautiful Spidey label, and it came back in 8.0. So, hell of a book, and I was happy because I pressed and cleaned all these books myself. Great grades. It was dope.
Yeah.
Really quickly, I just wanted to thank everybody in the chat for showing up, supporting. Like I said, we got Amazing Merfinator in the chat, and also just dropping by the Broski, my NorCal homie, Gomez Comic Collector. What's up, Broski? That's the homie. All right, guys. Let's see. Davis, you still around, buddy? You good? You having we got technical difficulties over there?
I think he fell asleep.
You good?
Still having problems.
Oh,
all right.
That's all good, man. We'll get you back in.
All right, we'll get you back in.
I'm good
so,
now, I think.
You good now? You ready to show your Romitas?
Lombo bitches.
Maybe not.
Me? Who you talking
Yeah.
about? Oh yeah, of course. I got my Romita.
All right, let's go over to AG Surfer. Let's have AG show some Romita.
I got a couple Romitas. Wake the hell up, son. Wake up or get out. No, that's rude.
That's all
rude.
good.
That's not very polite on my part. Pardon?
You better be polite.
Pardon?
Come on now.
Anyway, I'll show this one real quick. It's not a Romita.
Yeah.
Wants to go back to what Cholula was just showing about counting your pages. And I counted a couple of my ASMs that I believe are complete. And I want to say it hit like 18 pages, 16 to 18 pages. 16 sounds low. I think it's 18. And I wasn't counting front to back. I just counted individual pages. Yeah, go through your comics and count them before you submit them, or do some research. And I guess that's if it's a high value book or if you really care about it. Go through and look at them. But I got an X-Men number 13. I got it signed by Joe Sinnott. And yeah, this was a surprise because again, I didn't, I knew this book was complete. Staples were good, all that. But I didn't count my pages. I wasn't, but I know the story's here. But it turns out I was missing a couple of pages myself, and I figured it out. Obviously, when I came back from CGC, missing a couple of ad pages that don't affect the story. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got the green label as well, and at first I was a little bummed, but honestly, no, it didn't, because I still, knowing that it did missing the pages, I still would have submitted it.
Yeah.
The green, I had seen it in green, but you can see it's kind of, it didn't really pop. It didn't really come out. It's pretty subtle.
Yeah, tag green doesn't come out good. I suck.
Well, no, you don't. It's just a black background. Obviously, I like it because you can see Joe and you see the ass, and then you guys look for the rest.
I want you guys all to pay attention to that. If you guys didn't hear, that's brotherly love right there. Tad says he sucks, and AG was like, "No, you don't."
No, he doesn't. No. Not by any stretch of the means. But anyhow, yeah, it's just this was a book I got way back when I started collecting comics. This is one of my one of the first early X-Men I got. So again, I would have still submitted it knowing if it was missing some pages, just for the sentimental reason, and and the fact I got Joe Sinnott on it. I'm like, I wasn't gonna back away from that. So that's it. I just want to show that one for the green label. I've got other green labels, but for other reasons. But that's only one as far as missing pages. So onto my John Romita's. I also have the same book, ASM 39. First for John Romita work on ASM title. But you got mine. I got my John Romita pretty much in the same spot. I think I just went with a black Sharpie.
Copycat.
Yeah, that's actually and speaking of autographs, speaking of getting autographs, when you're sending books in to get autographs, have those window bags and boards going for the autographs, because then it just helps with them handling your comic. But if you haven't seen what their autograph looks like or the size or that kind of you haven't seen the artist signature before, a good way to kind of look it up is get on eBay. Just type, like I got on eBay, you can type in John Romita signed books, and you'll see a bunch of books obviously signed by Romita. You can get an idea of how large he signs, where he signs, that kind of thing. And that's with any artist, if you're not familiar with how large they may sign their signature. So it gives you a good kind of way to follow the autograph.
Yeah. Oh,
here comes trouble, huh?
yeah. I think we got some trouble in the live stream now.
Yeah.
Ain't no trouble here, bitches.
We apparently we have PayPal Murph 6972 joining us.
Oh,
You can send it to me.
it's a GoFundMe page, man. You got to support Murph. Help him out.
Yeah, right. You
It's not cheap living in Boston, son.
Oh shit. Yeah, he ain't got Tom Brady no more. He needs another quarterback, so he needs to pay for that quarterback.
I got that Newton Nation.
Newton Nation.
You can play it. Tell your mom to get it.
Newton Nation. Fellas, what's going on, my friends? It's been a long ass time. Good to see you
Yeah,
all.
man, it has.
Murph, I raised my beer to you, brother.
time.
Raise my
Thank
beer
you,
to you,
Pat.
bro.
I appreciate it. Cheers to you too, sir.
Murphy, my favorite Irishman.
My favorite Mexican. The only Mexican I've ever met. So I don't know if that's cool to say these days or anything like that, but
I think
I mean, it might be factual, so it's cool. It's whatever.
that's true. I didn't call you like a chili pepper, right? I just called you a Mexican.
And then he fucking goes and does some shit like
So So yeah, some sweet Romitas, guys. I mean, those are killers. I'm not gonna get mine off the shelf if it's in the ass, but yeah, I mean that 49 that you two showed, you Chewy and you AG, those are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, put AG back on.
Let's put AG. Let's see. Let's see AG.
Yeah, that's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
5.5. What did I get? I got a 5.0 on mine.
That I'll tell you that looks better than a 5.5.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, there's gonna be some issues somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it has issues, but it's just one of those things where you can have like a sun damaged and faded 5.5, and then you got a 5.5 like that looks beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here comes the guns.
In fact, I gotta just say thanks to Erod 212 because he pressed. I sent them out. No offense to it, I sent them out my 39. I want to say, yeah, I sent these books to him and he pressed and cleaned them because this was the first submission to Romita. Yeah, this is our first submission to Romita, and at that time, I think it was going to NY Comics. The first time, well, we did it twice, both times with NY Comics. But yeah, this one he also pressed out for me. This was a PGX. What was it? It was a PGX 6.0. So I think it's the same grade.
Yeah, so you kept the grade.
It was either a PGX 6.0 or PGX 5.0, but I don't think it jumped. I think it stayed because I was worried about it dropping. So, but he got the Romita. I requested Romita in red, and that's where John Romita.
Nice.
And the other surprise about this book, the real reason, well, one of the reasons for me getting this in a PGX was because, well, price was good. Price was good, but it said the interior was signed by, Jesus Christ, what's the dude's name? It's, how do I not know this? Hey, Tat, don't choke on that man. Drink, you got to do baby sips.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hurry up, guys. Comic Time's on. I gotta watch Comic Time. Hurry up.
Oh, is that what it is? All right, son of a. Anyways, the interior, it's actually on the splash page. It's signed by Gil Kane. So I was surprised I was able to get this label, and I didn't get the grain because maybe obviously CGC missed it. You know, on the splash page, it's just like the old like big pen or just an actual black pen. But
Yeah,
I guess it blends in well, and they didn't catch it. So
I wish they would have missed mine.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for Romita for me. The rest are going to be like I've got other ones to show if possible.
Cool. All right. So if that's it for Romita for us for now, I'd say the next guy we can talk about. We got about, well, if we're trying to keep it to an hour show, we could start to wrap up now, or we can get it to Neal Adams. What do you guys think? We want to show some.
You guys can do Neal. You guys can do Neal. That'd be fine.
So actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me get to the chat really quickly.
Yeah.
Four-Way Flashers has a pretty good question. He says, do you guys always grade your SIGs? Are there any raw SIGs in your collection? I think it depends on the collector, person to person, right? Personally, I do what I can to grade my SIGs. I really enjoy, for me, it's like a memento, right? Like I get to encapsulate and freeze this moment in time of me getting this signature by an artist that I've wanted to meet, I've wanted to see for a long time. And now I have, this yellow label that in case anybody questions me, nah, I was there, I got it. This is a legit signature. But it's not always the case. I definitely do have some raw books in my collection. It's whatever the bankroll allows, it's whatever the wallet allows, it's whatever the wife allows, you know what I mean? Like it depends. And sometimes if you had a chance to catch our last show Four-Way, we were talking about, I kind of dubbed it a game time decision. There are times when you don't know how much an artist is going to charge per signature until you're at the con. And then they may have different prices for raw books as opposed to a signature price that they're charging because they know you're going to get it graded. So I'll have a list of maybe 5 or 10 books that I want to get signed. But by the time I'm in line, I got to start putting those in precedent order, right? Like what's the book I have to get signed by him? And what's the one that I don't care at the bottom, and just start making those game time decisions and seeing what I want to do with them. Do I really want to get this Slabs? And I go in with that plan ahead of time. and I execute when I'm there. So it's kind of like it's like playing a live game. You know what I mean?
It's an audible.
Yeah, there you go.
Omaha.
There you
Calling
go.
the audible.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, you're absolutely right. You got to go with that. And four-way, I got my whole wall behind me is signature books. So a lot of them, I want to say 90% of them say to Mike on it. So I take it and I put it up on the wall. You know, there's a few over here that don't say to Mike. And that's probably to go to what caveat on what Cholula is saying is maybe I wanted to submit it, but then I decided either the grade of the book wasn't good enough, or the monetary value of the book wasn't good enough, or I just didn't have enough fucking money to do it, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So then you just end up, you know, keeping it loose. And you just, you know, for me, I'll just throw it on the wall. It's not a big deal. So, you know, Marvel Team Up 141, signed by Neal Adams. This is a book that some people would probably get gold labeled, you know, yellow labeled, that type of a book, because it's a pricier book.
I got mine gold labeled.
I had two, so I do have another one up on my shelf. But at the time, I was like, I'll just submit the one, you know, whatever. Yeah. It's fine. It's all cool.
Let me ask you, Murph. I got two questions for you. First, if the artist asks you, because oftentimes, if you guys don't know, when you go meet an artist, they'll ask you, do you want me to just sign the book, or do you want me to make it out to someone? Do you want me to make it out to you? So they'll ask you that question. So my question to you is, more often than not, do you have them make it out to you, or does it just depend?
It depends what the book is. So if I'm going to say I'm going to go see Adi Granoff, and I got Darth Vader #3.
Yeah.
And this is a 9.6-ish candidate, you know, could hit a 9.8, whatever. I know that there's money involved behind this, so I'll just have him sign his name and then submit it. Now, if I took, like, say, the second print of the same book, even though, you know, now this book is rising in value, I would have been more apt to have this one signed to Mike and just signed it and then threw it up on the wall somewhere.
Okay.
So
my
it
second
depends
question
on
is, go ahead. Sorry. It depends on.
It depends on the price of the book.
Okay.
For sure. Now, or the grade. Now, I mean, I could have this book and it could be beat to live in hell. You know, it wouldn't be this book. Say it was a Silver Age book and it was beat to live in hell. Like I got a Joe Sinnott up here, Fantastic
on that
415,
FF.
And it's not a high grade book at all. You know, it's probably a 3.0 or something. So I decided, because you can buy, you know, a high grade book of it. So I decided just to have him write my name on it, and that's a cool memento of me meeting Mr. Sinnott.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, okay. Last question for you, Murph. In that same vein of you getting signatures that are going to be made out to you, do you have any of them graded already that are made out to yourself?
I have not. I've thought about it. You know, I thought about it, at least for maybe a Spidey or something. Like, I would like to have a John Romita to Mike, but I'm not going to see John Romita at a senior at a convention. We'll have to do what we did before, you know, last couple of years, and that wouldn't be too bad to have one sign, you know, to Mike from John Romita. That'd be kind of like store that was there. That would be kind of neat. You know, he's done a bazillion books over the years, over the course of his work. So if I was just to grab, it would have to be a Spidey, but you know, it could be just a lesser known Spider-Man one or something like that. Then I would consider doing it. Why not? But to slab a to Mike book just for the yellow label, what's the point? I mean, your name's Jonathan. You're not going to buy my to Mike book, so it doesn't really matter, you know.
Good point. Let me go and move on to Taddy. Taddy, what do you think about getting stuff personalized to yourself?
I I'd never done it. If I were to, the reason why is because, like what Murph just said, if I were to ever sell that book, I don't know if someone would want it to say best wishes, Tat Comics. It's like I wouldn't want that to happen. So,
Yeah.
but I never looked at really selling my books. I still have every single book I've ever bought. I've only taken a few of my books and traded them in to put down on other things that I need at the time. But I have a lot of raw books that aren't slabbed, and it's like you were saying earlier, money situation. And when I'm at a con, I'm usually hunting for more of the books I need to complete runs than I am trying to slab. But if it's a book that I know that the value is there, then I will definitely slab it if I got it signed by like a key player of that book, so that way it preserves it. And so then if I ever do sell it, which I highly doubt, but if I ever give it to my kids, at least my kids will have it in a good condition, or at least the best condition possible. So if they ever run into hard times, they can sell it. I hope I'm never around to hear that happen, though. I just want to give a quick shout out to Evan. I was trying to write that in the chat, but my computer runs so damn slow.
Yeah, what's up, Evan?
But and I think it's like great how everybody collects, because everybody collects different, and I like how everybody does. Like I like the fact that Murph will get books signed to him. I think that's cool. Not a lot of people do that, because that's the book that Murph's like, this is staying with me, and it means a lot more to me than any of these other books. And I like how he has the back wall all just geared up with the books that he's got signed, because he can always look at those and go, I remember that day. I don't know, he's getting up there in age, but either way, I had to throw that in there. But
I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I want to piggyback on that, chat, because I've told him a bunch of times that I think his wall is dope as fuck. I really like how it's clear and everything just looks like it's free floating, hanging. It's a really amazing wall that he's built there. It's really cool.
Well, that and how he takes his. Oh, I'm sorry, Murph. Go ahead.
No, I just need to change it. It's been a while since I've rotated the books around. Yeah. So,
and I also like how Murph will show his slabs on his shelf, and he'll have like a little pop figure next to it. You know what I mean? That goes along with the book. So it's like any person could go in there and hopefully figure that out. If someone doesn't know comic books as much, hopefully they'll be able to go, oh, I know what he's doing there. I know what he means. When he puts a Venom next to like first appearance of Venom kind of thing. And you guys also have like between my brother AG, like I said, he has a Smithsonian of autographs and just a plethora of books. It's like someday maybe me and him can open up a comic book store when we retire. It'd be great. It'd be fun. It'd be Surf and Tat, or Tat and Surf. Kind of like this show. This show should be called Tat and Surf with hot sauce. Cholula. Because that one's. Oh, I'm sorry, my son's there. That one's paused because I don't want that to have an echo. What you need?
With an Irish twist.
There you go, with an Irish twist. One thing I do want to say before we get off, whenever we do, because I don't know when next time I'll be able to talk. Just kidding. Is that I just want to say, to Murph, thank you for joining us, man, because honestly, this is another brother from the Hall of Justice right here. And an honorable mention, Frost was part of the Hall of Justice for about maybe a week, and then he said, poop. So, hey, we got another, first there, and of course, Davis Comic Pines, another brother from the Hall of Justice. And two other guys I'd like to mention, I haven't seen them do anything in a long time, is Freddy's. Freddy's was, man, it was great to get to know Freddy's in the Hall. Here, get his humor, get his jokes and all that stuff. He's an awesome guy. And of course, Doom 143, another great guy. They were in the Hall for a while. And So Comics, he's still around. He's just taking care of his family. I still talk to him every once in a while to make sure he's okay. So, those are some other brothers of the Hall of Justice. Of course, Kyle Rowe. Can't forget the Irishman, the guy who talks about the Green Lady. And, of course, Mr. Riggedy Giggity,
Yeah.
Can't forget him either. So hopefully we can get all those guys on here one of these days. It'd be great to have us have like a reunion show, But to have Murph here tonight, that's awesome. And to have Davis, I don't know what happened to him. He just poof.
He's having technical difficulties. He's been messaging me back and forth. Quick shout out to Tim, Canadian Comic Hunter. Thanks for joining us, man. Hey, man, really thanks to Tim, Canadian Comic Hunter. This is our third show, and this is the third time he's here joining us. So really appreciate that, man. Thanks for showing up.
Way to go, Tim. When he lives in Davis, Davis lives in the sticks of Tennessee, so he's got one guy who operates the internet out there. Yeah. And I heard he came down with COVID. So he's caught. Davis won't watch anything for like a long time. He's just
it's one guy, a mule, and a plow that are trying to like generate.
exactly one guy, a mule, and a plow. You know, and I think he's the same guy that lights the lamps on the street. You know, so that Davis can cross the street safely after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
That's messed up. He's not even here to defend himself, Murph. Come on. Let me get over to ask AG the same question. Having comics signed and personalized to yourself versus just having them signed and then grading them. What are your thoughts?
Well, majority of my books they're autographs. So I think I've got one or two books that may be personalized, and I think one of them is graded. So yeah, I mean, most of the time I don't personalize, and if I do, then they would be raw. I just haven't graded the one book. And yeah, as far as grading, I definitely don't grade all my autographs because that's way too pricey. And like I think even like Murph stated, and most of you guys had stated, when it comes to the value of the book, it doesn't make sense. That's the other thing. I mean, because sentimental values can be really expensive, obviously. So it's really dependent on the value of the book, and if it's usually the idea behind an autograph, it's not just like rule number for me. It's because I really enjoy the artist. It's like I enjoy the work they did in the book, and so to get the autograph on the book, that's like icing on the cake. And then after that, it would be the value. Does the autograph add value to the book? That's another factor. Especially when you're paying for that autograph.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you don't want to drop $50. You don't want to drop $100 on an autograph, and it does nothing for the book. Then it's like, okay. I mean, again, if it's sentimental, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it's your money, it's your thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't. I'm not that wealthy to do that much sentimental. To drop
unless. The only caveat to what you're saying is unless it's one of those rare occasions where you're getting your book signed by instead of a comic creator who knows the difference, they know just to sign it and not to have to make it out to you. Nowadays, in the days of Comic Cons, we're getting a lot more stars. It's getting a lot more Hollywoody. We're getting actors, directors, that kind of stuff that are showing up to cons and signing books. And what I understand is some actors like Adam West, you still had to pay like $100 for a signature, and he would personalize it. He would not just sign it.
Yeah. No, that happened to me, and I ended up. I took a comic book up there. The idea was to have him sign a comic book, and when he said he was going to personalize it, I was like, oh crap! I had to do it quick, and he didn't have a long line at that time, or I caught him on a slow day, but at that time I just grabbed one of his little photos he had on his table. I said, then please, if you don't mind, then you could personalize this to me. Because I was like, and I mean, looking back, now I think, okay, maybe I should have done the comic book, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. I was just stoked to meet him, exchange a few words, get a handshake, and I've got this photograph of him in the classic Batman outfit, personalized to me. So I can't ask for more, really. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, Hollywood guys, their prices are going to range on that autograph, and and most of them are going to want to personalize, and that's usually the first thing they ask: you want this personalized, or I'm going to personalize it to you. Yeah, right out tell you. So it's not just an autograph. So
that's true. Hollywood is a big difference when it comes to it. If you're going to meet Mark Hamill, and so he's probably charging $150, maybe it's $200 now.
Now, yeah.
200. There's not like a lot of collectible comic books that have value. So maybe an 8x10 is, your regular photo is what you're looking to get.
Yeah.
You might as well just, if you're going to spend the $200, it's not like you're going to sell it. Like you can buy a certified signature of Mark Hamill off the internet. I would definitely myself have that made out to Mike or to Murph or something like that with Mark Hamill. If I'm going to spend $150, $200 for him.
Yeah.
When it comes to comic creators, artists, and writers, when cons were prevalent, when we could do, you guys remember conventions that thing that we go to once in a while.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here on a weekly basis, Murph. We're trying to remember the cons.
Yeah.
So we don't forget.
I took my vitamins this morning, but anyways, if you're gonna see Clayton Crane, you're gonna see Clayton Crane. So you're gonna slab his maybe a high price variant that I did for Davis or something cool like that. Or you're just gonna, you can see him anytime you want when those things are still going on. Those conventions is what they're called.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, but if I was meeting Mark Hamill, I had a chance to meet Carrie Fisher, but again, I was weighing out the thing, $150 for Carrie Fisher, and I'm like, she's my princess, she's the one I love, and I'm like, $150, ugh.
Yeah,
and then she dropped dead. It's just like, oh,
I know it sucks.
Yeah,
it's different. It's different when you prepare for the signature as opposed to not being prepared for it.
Let me, guys, let me jump over really quickly to Davis while we have him. While his wait a minute, we don't have him. Damn it,
we lost him.
Man, make me choke. Just want to give a quick shout out to Bueller for showing up. And my dang allergies. This sucks. But I'll say I guess probably one of the most famous people I ever met. Well, actually, I think even Frost got to meet him. Was Kato Kalin.
You
I'm just shitting. No, I met him. That dude. I don't know, man. Let me put it this way: when you go to a Comic-Con and he's the guy to greet you, the rest of the con it just sucks.
No way.
Oh yeah, I met him. I mean, I've met. I met. I kind of got to meet Lou Ferrigno. I met the two guys that played in the was that Dawn of Justice, the one that played Cyborg. I can't think of his name. I met him. He's a cool guy. And I met the guy who played Flash in that movie. They're both nice guys. Of course, Henry Winkler. That guy's awesome. Totally chill, dude.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We got Davis back, and it looks like he has a connection. Let's get him while we can.
Yeah.
Hey, Davis. So the question is, okay, getting comics personalized when you go and get your signatures. Do you have any? Would you do it? And would you get them slabbed? Go.
I don't know that I've ever gotten a comics personalized. I have a few that are that were got someone else, but I probably wouldn't slab a book unless it's like what's the guy who played Batman?
Well, Adam
Michael Keaton.
Adam West.
West. Okay.
He wouldn't sign a book unless it was personalized. I know that. I actually got a comic signed through the mail. I just mailed him a comic and said, "Here, sign this," and didn't have to pay.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. He personalized it though, so.
Yeah, but that's cool though.
Yeah. Yeah. But I probably wouldn't. I don't think I would slab a personalized book because it's going to stay in your collection. I don't know. I mean, that's not something that I would do anyway.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about personalizing books, we're a little over the hour mark, but I think everybody's cool with staying on for a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, we do about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this is a good transition. We're talking about today. We talked about Stan Lee again. We did our Romita stuff, and Neal Adams was the next guy we're going to bring up on the chopping block. I feel like this is a really great transition about personalizing books to people. So let me show you some of the books that I got done by Neal Adams, and they were personalized. So first and foremost, I have my Uncanny X-Men #1. And so what happened was I got the chance to meet Neal Adams at SF Con. I don't know. I'll tell you right now, in 2017. So, in 2017, a few years back, right? 3 years ago. And I had heard through a reputable source, shout out to Manny NYC for giving us this little bit of info. Apparently, Neal Adams will do free sketches for kids. Not for everyone, because he charges for sketches. And trust me, if you guys have ever met Neal Adams, that man charges. Okay?
He charges for everything.
For everything, for a picture. for a photograph. You see, if he says hello to you, that man's gonna send the bill collectors after you. And the bill collector is his wife, and she don't play. She wants her money.
You think Neal's rough? His wife, no way, man. His wife's rough.
Yeah, she don't play. So I talked to Neal and I said, "Hey man, will you do some sketches for the kids?" First question out of his mouth was, "Are you sure it's for the kids?" I go, "Yeah, absolutely." I go, "I have 3 kids, and like I talked about my what I like to do is I want all my kids to have at least one signature from every great person in comics, right? So that's what I try to do." He said, "Yeah, I'll do it. Just know that I'll personalize it." I said, "That's great, no problem." So for my youngest daughter, I got this Mohawk Storm, and I thought it was really cool. And he signed it right here to Esperanza. And the funny thing about this book, this was the last one he did. He did 2 others for me, one for each kid, right? So he did the first 2, no problem. He made out the signature and he personalized them to each one of my kids, gave me the books. This was the last one he did. Let me tell you guys, I've heard a lot of, let's just say, interesting stories about Neal. Sometimes people say he's a great guy. Other times people say he's kind of crabby. There's stories about donuts. You guys already know, right? Like, stuff happens with Neal. He was so super nice to me and my family. He was very attentive with the kids. He paid attention to the kids, asked them who their characters were, was drawing, was having conversations with them. Other people were in line trying to pay for things as I was getting my freebies, didn't even look up to acknowledge the rest of his line because he was so interactive with us. And I thought that was really cool of him. That was really decent of him to do, So as he handed me this book, which was the last one he did of the 3, he only signed it and just handed it over. And so he was making a big deal in the beginning about like, "Hey, are you sure these are for them? I'm going to personalize them." So he signed it to me, he signed it, but didn't personalize it, right? And I could have walked off with it.
Easily.
And, like slabbed it and sold it later on eBay and all this other stuff. Speak of the devil, the little person who's this book is made out to is in here making a bunch of noise. Get out of here, girl.
It's like, you got my damn book, Dad. Put my book down.
So as he gives it to me, I was like, "Oh man, dude, you didn't sign it to my daughter." And I start handing it over. He freaking lunges over the table. "Oh, give it to me. What's her name?" He starts making, "What's her name? How do you spell it?" So I thought that was kind of funny, but that just goes to show you, like, I wasn't there to try to get one over on them, or
Exactly.
These are all for my kids. So, and she reminds me of Mohawk Storm, so that's what I got for her.
That's awesome.
I'll try to show you
back at 9-0.
Yeah, and he came back at 9-0. I'll show really quickly. My oldest daughter, her favorite is Spidey, right? So he did this quick little Spidey sketch, and this one's made out to Elisa, and he signed it there.
Nice. That's badass. Let me see that again.
Yeah,
that Spidey's cool. And
see, badass.
Neal's quick sketches, every one of them's different. It's not like he just does a silhouette of something.
No.
And they're all different regardless.
Yeah, this is a quick sketch, but it's got some detail to it. Like this could totally be a panel on a book,
Yeah.
So I was really happy with this. And then for my son, he was like about 2 years old at the time, and he's this little, like, he was my little Hulk, right? So I had Neal do a Hulk for him. And right there it says, "To Jonathan."
Nice. That's you. You can sell it yourself.
Well,
how many Jonathans are out there? You can sell that shit.
Hey, Murph, this is for my son. All right, this one's for my son.
Yeah, get the books made out to Dave and Tom. You'll be all right.
Yeah. And so that same day, because he was so cool and he took so much time. I mean, we all know Neal charges. He charges a pretty penny. It's $50. It's $50 a signature, and he gave me 3 sketches for free, 3 Sigs for free. I was like, dude, like, it's cool. I might as well get something signed. So I did pay $50 for this one, just because he was so nice. He was so cool. I did pay for this one. I wish I had an older book, a Silver Age. I wish I had the original, cover of this. Well, but this is what I had, and I still went with it. And I'm happy to have his Sig in my collection. The last 2 that I'm going to show really quickly. I got this one actually off of Marky. Shout out to the NY Warriors, Marky. He gave me this at a really great price. I mean, Neal charges $50 per Sig, and I don't even know that I paid that just for the book, and it came back at 9.6.
So, nice.
This one, And then my last Neal Adams signature that I'll show off, Return of Wolverine #1 with the Neal Adams cover. And I got this one off eBay. So, and I still
Neal
got
Adams cover?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty...
Nice.
Yeah. And it was a 9.8, and I think I got it for less than like $60 on eBay. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let me go over to who got some Neal Adams books. Who wants to show some Neal stuff?
I just got books. I don't have signatures, man. I met the man, but man, I didn't have the fundage. Well, I did, but I spent it on other stuff.
Right. Right. I got 2 myself. If you want to highlight, I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see, Murph.
Oh, hi, guys.
You ham.
Amazing sweat. I got this one here. So this is an example of what I got to Mike from Neal Adams. So
that is cool.
This is actually, I think this is actually the first Cindy Moon. I think the first panel on this book shows the spider biting her leg. So this book has gotten popular as well. But this is I don't know. It's one of those comic shop exclusives. So I don't really count it as like a variant. It's one of those comic shop things. I bought a nice raw copy off Davis a couple months ago.
Oh, nice.
That I might consider getting gold labeled if I ever meet them at those things that we used to go to, conventions.
Yeah, I think they're called cons. I forget.
Yeah. So this was when Neal was at $20. So I was okay giving him $40 because then I got this. And my reason being is when I got, so this was done in 2015. These are both signed on the same time. And this one's just Neal Adams and old label CBCS and 8.0. And this one I thought was just plenty, like it was like a $10 or $15 book way back then, and it probably still is today. I probably overpaid from Davis, but
not by much.
I figured this one being a Bronze Age book, right? 15 center, was a nice one to get Slabs. The cover looks good. It's got the Avengers on there, and whatever. I don't know what the story is. I don't think I've ever read this before in my life, but it came back in 8.0. But I got one Slab book from Neal, and
that's a really nice. That's a nice looking cover right there. That's a nice book.
Mm-hmm.
It is cool. Actually, they did check this shit out. I'm gonna post some more shit off my wall.
Hey, I was gonna tell you, worst case scenario. I don't know if you guys know or if everybody in the chat knows now. I know you got it signed, right? But CBCS has now switched over their verified signature program, which is, as you guys know, that's the red label stuff. They're no longer doing red labels. They're all yellow labels now.
Yeah.
So for some guys that matters, for some it doesn't. So if you're interested and you only want yellow labels, but you have signatures that are already done and have not been witnessed, you can submit your stuff to CBCS and still get a gold label.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to the fine print of what's on the label, how anal you are about that.
Absolutely. That's right.
It's still going to say either verified or witnessed,
right?
On the label, but the color is going to be the same. So, we'll see, whatever. But anyways, they reprinted this book.
That's a badass book right there.
Avengers, I don't know what it is, but this is an Art Adams and Mike Diodato. Mm-hmm. So I was able to get Art Adams on. I bought this from eBay with Diodato's signature, and then I was able to get, where's Art?
Art right there, right on Iceman.
Iceman.
Yeah, so I was able to get Art on that one as well.
The only thing I can't stand about Adams is that he puts the freaking year on there every time.
For the longest time, you're right. I'd be like, I would see so many that would say Art Adams 316. I'd be like, is this guy like all biblical and shit on me? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
But mine says Art Adams.
Taking you to church.
Right. He's taking me to church.
Yeah.
Which that's a topic for another day, but I just thought that's what he was doing because I wasn't into the autographs. You know, this literally is my first comic book autograph.
Nice.
2015. So I haven't been doing this all that long.
Right.
You know,
But
this
it's
is my first
addicting.
one.
It is so addicting, right?
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God.
That's you know what? That's a good question. AG, what was your first autograph? Which artist did you have first sign a book for you?
Oh crap. I want to say John Byrne. Probably when you and me got John Byrne.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was John Byrne and Jim Selkrup.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that. Yep.
Jim Salicrup?
Yeah. That was the first one at a comic book store. And then as far as going to cons and getting autographs, oh crap. I guess I would say Stan Lee. 2013.
Yep. Stan Lee.
Yeah. And that's a hell of a way to pop your cherry, AG. How about you, Teddy? The same?
Yeah, same. I was just hoping my brother would remember, and man, I tell you what, he's older than me, and he has a better memory than me. That's awesome.
Not too bad for an old dude, huh?
No, I mean, I'm catching up to you. Hey, real quick, I just want to show this, just for anybody. I was driving by, and I always go to Costco because I have to get like big supplies of toilet paper. I got 4 kids, right? I walked into the Costco.
You're gonna want to buy your wife maxi pads.
Yep. No, not yet. Don't jinx me. Don't jinx me.
TMI, bro. TMI.
But I went into my local Costco, and they had these there, and I couldn't believe the price. $20. I don't know how many we have left, but I got this. There's no way I was going to pass this up, man. Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
There you go.
I got 2 of them because my son's birthday's tomorrow, my youngest son, and so.
Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, thanks, Murph. I'll let him know. I got
Happy
2 of them
birthday,
just in
bro.
case thanks, brother. If my wife wasn't able to go out and get him something today, but hey, Davis.
Happy birthday, little Tat. Oh, hey, Davis. Davis, well, we got you back really quickly. Who was your first signature you ever got in real life? Who's the first person you ever got a signature from?
They've gotten back for a few minutes, maybe. First person.
Is that
Oh, he's all queued up and ready to go. Look at him. He's a professional.
Yeah, Davis is a professional.
Nice.
That's the first sig I ever got. $5 actually. When
No
$5?
way.
Well, did you meet him, or did you just pay for the book already signed?
I bought it. He was charging $5 a book. I guess that was 2012.
Oh yeah.
And then he quickly shot up.
Oh, he
in
did.
price.
Yeah, the first time I got him, he was like 10.
Wow.
I thought that was pricey because I was just new to the SIG game, but
Right.
yeah. But that's cool.
$5. Like gold mine.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a quick. How about you,
Hold
Chilo? What was yours?
Hey, hold on. Oh, that's nice, Davis.
That's a dead man, huh?
That's a good one. Oh,
Ooh,
oops. Sorry. There we go. There's Davis. There's Davis. Go, Davis. Let me see that.
That's a great one.
Rajagul.
Yeah.
Hey, as Davis is showing the books, I want to give a quick shout out to Liking the Covers 4693. Haven't seen you around for a while, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the support. Liking the Covers. What's up, man?
Oh yeah, Liking the Covers, awesome.
And Davis is still with us. All right.
Yes.
Okay, just keep it on Davis then. Keep it on Davis.
What else you got?
Oh,
Ooh, that's nice.
Damn.
I noticed he stopped right at her bus line. What's up with that?
Yeah, what's up? You should have kept going.
That's where the sketch costs real money.
All right, I'm gonna jump to me real quick while Davis is froze up. My first signature also, guys, was I went big too. I went with the Stansig for my very first signature. I had been to a lot of cons before. I don't know about you guys, but I was always a collector since I was like about 6 years old. I would save my freaking pennies, nickels, dimes, all my chore money. I used to go with my grandfather in the summers to go mow lawns and make extra money. And I used to buy my own comic books. So I didn't have a lot of money to be spending on signatures.
Yeah.
And once I got money to start spending on signatures, the first time I ever wanted to get a sig, it was on this book, and which I've shown a few times now, you know. But I spent good money. I spent like $50 on my very first signature ever to meet Stan Lee, and it wasn't just a signature. It was to get to meet the man. It was the experience, you know.
Right.
So I went big on my first signature too, and after that, like me and Murph were saying earlier, it's just so addicting, you know.
It is. It's very. Kids today, they do a GoFundMe. They don't mow lawns. They do GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Sons of guns.
Yeah, I didn't
They don't
play that.
shovel snow. They do GoFundMe.
Oh yeah.
Nah.
I got my oldest son mowing the lawn though. He does that near Cycles Can, so he's doing it the good way.
That's called a chore.
Yep.
A chore. Different.
Oh, I know.
Cleaning the room and doing the dishes.
Chore.
Okay,
Yeah.
one more question to everybody on the panel. Who was the first person, whether it be an inker, a writer, or just a cover artist that you met at a con? Who was the first one you ever met? Can you guys even remember that?
Yeah, it was Neal. Because when I walked into Rhode Island Comic Con, Neal takes up half the fucking floor with all the shit. So he was right there to the left of the door. The reason I got mine at CBCS is because CBCS's booth was the first booth there. And I knew I wanted to because of watching videos, of all this, and I was like, I want to get a slab book. So there I met Neal Adams, and then I went over. Let's see if I can pull it up really quick. Here it is. And I met Ethan Van Sciver, who signed it over here, and he drew a little bat symbol over here. So that was those two books. And then the following summer, when I got it back, I had Capullo and Snyder sign it wherever it is.
Very cool.
And I think those were my only two yellow slabs that I did. The other ones I've since sold were blue labels. One was ASM 129. I sold that, but upgraded it, and then I sold that Adam Hughes Supergirl. Was it Legions of Super something 23? That iconic cover that he had.
Where she's on the Meteor?
What's that?
Is that the one where she's on the Meteor?
Yeah, she's on the Meteor. Yeah. So that came out at 9.8. Sold that like a lawnmower instead.
Nice.
But anyway, for a long time I was like, I was interested, but I was only interested in people who did work on Spider-Man. So like at the time, I knew who Jim Steranko was, but I didn't have anything for Jim Steranko, so I just walked right by him. I'm like, there's a legend right there. But I don't have anything for Jim Steranko, and I was just really getting my feet wet in the autograph business. Let's say, let's call it that. Whatever. But at that Rhode Island Comic Con, I walked by so many people. I was probably only there for like 2 hours. Like, all right, I'm done. Let's go. Let's get out of here. And my buddy Sean, you guys have all met except for Tat in Davis. He's like, yeah, I'm good. But then the next year is really, after watching more videos, because AG was putting out videos, he was putting out content then. Tat was always live streaming like every fucking day. Cholula was, routinely putting out content. Davis was putting out content. And I was like, oh, let's get more involved with this. Let's find these things. And then, what we used to do is we used to key, call it, I don't know, morbid or whatnot. We'd key artists who are old. Yeah. Because they may not be, and Bernie Rice is not here anymore. Darren Cook's not here anymore. Joe Sinnott, not here anymore. And thank goodness I was able to obtain some of those autographs at that time. But that's kind of what we used to do, and then it's evolved. It evolved to just this.
That's funny that you say that. The Not's here anymore. I mentioned that in our last chat, and I was just talking to my wife about that, about how happy I was just recently, just thinking about how we got to go out to East Coast Comic Con last year and meet Joe Sinnott, who's not here anymore, and he's not here anymore. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like if I would have missed out, then I would have never gotten to meet him, never gotten to finish.
There's two guys that have passed. Denny O'Neil was there, and Joe Sinnott was there. And we all got autographs that time from both those folks.
I missed Denny, bro. I missed him.
He was fucking right there. How the hell do you miss him?
Because he was only there. Because he was only there on Friday, and I didn't go to the con on Friday. I went Saturday.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why.
Well, how about you, AG?
What's that?
Who was the first person you met at a Comic-Con?
Oh, besides you?
Doctor. Yeah, because I was the one that told you about Stan Lee, but go ahead.
Artist, inker, writer, bro. Artist, inker, author.
Yeah, any one of those.
Physically going up and meeting, I guess, again, it'd probably go back to Stan Lee, because I remember, going through the con and walking past tables, but not going up to any of those tables and getting anything signed yet. Because going to that con was all about Stan Lee, so it was getting my books ready for Stan, getting the tickets, and then going and waiting that line for a couple hours before Stan even showed up. Yeah. So, I mean, walk past Chris Claremont, and I was like, holy crap, that's Chris Claremont. I got all excited. And I was like, I was tempted to take out a couple books because he had such a small line. But I'm like, okay, no, I got to stay focused on Stan Lee because I don't know.
I remember. Yep.
I had no clue I figured he's going to have a line. I just didn't know how or what the situation was going to be. First convention.
Yeah.
So going to that Stan Lee line, it was long. And then, of course, as I stayed there and waited, it got longer. So then you look back and you start seeing 50 people deep. Then a couple hours pass, 100 people. My wife and I, holy crap, good thing we're here. Because we don't want to be back. We don't want to be back there. And
they would have staging areas where one line is, and then another staging area for a different set of folks in line, and it was crazy.
Yeah, so definitely it would be Stan Lee. And like I said, prior to that, walk through the con, noticing Chris Claremont, then seeing Mike Golden, and then figuring out who Mike Golden was, and the work that Mike Golden did, and realizing
his little bitch handler.
Oh my God, the guy! I think it's his son.
I fucking hate that woman. Hate that fucking woman. I don't know if it's his wife or not, but I fucking hate that woman.
Is his handler the one that always says, "Listen, oh my God, I was stuck at the CBCS booth one year at SFCon when it was still in San Francisco, and the CBCS booth was right across from fucking Mike Golden's booth, and I was filling out this long list, handwriting all the books I was submitting to CBCS because personally I had like 20 books. One of my buddies gave me another 10 or 15 books. Another buddy of mine gave me another 10 books. So I'm sitting there handwriting all these witness signature books that I'm submitting. So I was there until they shut it down and were ready to kick us out. And the whole time his handler's out there singing, "It's over here." Oh my fucking God, I was going nuts. Because he kept saying it over and over and over, and I wanted to choke him out.
That's so annoying. Oh.
Even the CBCS guys were telling me this dude is driving me nuts. I'm tired of him. Like I can't stand it anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
it kind of almost hurts the experience because let's call her Mrs. Golden. Just like Mrs. Zeck, she's all about the raffle and this and that and calling out the numbers and making sure she's checking your books and how many you got and making sure this is $20, just screaming in your face like it's like you're at Fenway with popcorn and peanuts and all that crap and. It's just you're getting so worked up with that bitch, that cunt, that fucking George Perez's line. That woman there, knock it off, lady, with your foot fucking hands and all that. She was doing all that stuff, but God, stop. And then you finally get to the guy the first time that you meet him, you're like, sign my fucking book so I can get out of here. It's just like. Whatever, you want to have a conversation, and she's like pushing you along. Like there's 10 people in fucking line. Knock it off, all right?
Yeah.
Warning, stop.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck off.
My
Well, Eddie the comic guy. Shout out to Eddie the comic guy. He's in the chat. My first con that I ever went to was a small little Comic Con. It was up in Portland, and it slowly emerged into becoming Rose City Comic Con, because we have Wizard World. I don't want to talk about Wizard World. It was the first little small Comic Con that I went to. My wife told me about it, and I went to this Comic Con, and I just remember kind of walking around, getting a feel for like what, you know, who is who and how things are set up. And I came by this one table, and I saw like right behind the artist was like pictures of Venom, Spider-Man, you know, Silver Surfer, Batman, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, I want to stop at this guy's table. Lo and behold, it was Randy Emerlin, you know, and he was the first person I really met at a Comic Con. And of course, I knew who he was, but I didn't know like all that he has done. So I had nothing with me to get signed. And you know, I was just talking to him, and he had a pretty good line, and he had a bunch of prints and stuff. And I saw he had a Silver Surfer print. So the first person I thought was my brother. You know, I'm like, I got to get that from a bro. You know, or I think I got you a Batman. I think that's what I did. I got you a Batman print from him, and then I got yeah, and then I got a couple other prints from him. But he was always like, you know, hey, if you buy one, you get one free. You know, if you buy a color print, you get a black and white for free, kind of thing. You know, and he always had good deals. And he really took the time to talk to me, talk to my wife, talk to my two oldest kids now. Back then were really little. You know, I remember pushing the stroller around, you know. And I just thought, man, this is a great experience I had, you know, because, like I said, Randy Emerlin, he's just such a great guy, and I just took off from there. Every time I went to a Comic-Con, if Randy was there, he was the first person I went to every single time. And I pretty much have almost every book in my collection that he's done, I got signed by him. So I got like, you know, I always call it my Randy collection. And the one who came up with the idea of calling him Uncle Randy was Frost. Frost says, damn, that's like your uncle, dude. You just go say hi to him all the time, sit back like you eating chicken with him or something. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you know. And so I always make it a point to stop by and see him. He's such a great guy. If anybody ever gets a chance to meet Randy and his wife, they're just amazing people. They'll take the time to talk to you. He's got a great signature. His sketches are just fantastic. He was the first one I ever met. And then I knew, like, my next Comic-Con, that's when I went to, with my brother, we went to a Wizard World to meet Stan Lee for the first time. I called my brother up, and I said, hey, G, you want to go? He's like, dude, Stan Lee, I'll get back to you. It took about maybe 5 minutes. Call back. Dude, we're going. I'm there. You know, baby, I got the tickets. I'm there. I'm like, sweet. So went to a big Comic-Con with my bro, and it was great, man. I got to experience that whole thing with my brother, and I'll never forget that. Never forget that.
The thing about inkers with like Joe Sinnott and Randy Emerlin is their library of work that they've done is so amazingly just like you guys might know Randy Emerlin for ASM 360, whatever the fuck it is, Carnage.
361.
Okay, so he was Mark Bagley's inker for 2-3 years, whatever he worked on the title. But Randy Emerlin has done so much more. You know, like Joe Sinnott. You think of Joe Sinnott as Fantastic Four, but the guy's worked on Captain America. But he worked on Fantastic Four in the fucking 90s. He worked on Fantastic Four in the fucking 60s. He's just done so much. You know, inkers don't get enough credit for what they do. You know, and Uncle Randy, I see Eddie's in the chat. At least you got him highlighted there, Chewy. He's done so much. You know, they've done so much. I've got that awesome. It's my collaboration autograph. It's the blank Spidey, and I sent it to AG, and you and Tat, you know, got Randy to do a Spidey head sketch on it, and it says to Mike. And then I decided to take that and just evolve it and bring it to every convention I have to. I probably have 100 sketches, not sketches, but autographs on that one book.
Really?
By now. Some
awesome.
people are like, well, you know, charge, you know, $5 for it, or, you know, $10. I think I actually spent $20 on one of them. But I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to sell this thing. And it already says to Mike on the front cover. I'm like, oh, come on. It already says to Mike. It's already made out. What the fuck? Why are you charging this much money? But, you know, whatever. To go back on what Chewy said with kids, Joey has the same type of book on a Captain America, and I haven't spent a dime for Joey's book at all. And he's got amazing, some sketches on there. He went over and he told Ron Lim, he's like, I want an Infinity Gauntlet. And Ron Lim did a little Infinity Gauntlet. He's like, all right, I'm out of here. And he walked out. Lim was not going to charge Joey any money for it.
No, Lim is a cool dude. Lim is dope.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He told Rubenstein, make me a Spider-Man right there. And he's like, all right, make me a Spider-Man. There it is. He got the money for my shit that I had Slabs and all that crap. Probably gave me.
And I was going to tell you, because let me tell you, Ruby, back to Tat's question, who was the first person you ever met? Inker, author, whatever, right? Artist? Rubenstein was the first dude I ever met. Because when you go into a con and you see Rubenstein's booth, he has that Wolverine. number one, huge banner, number one. So I was like drawn to it. Yep, that's the one. Yeah. And I was drawn to it, and I was like, oh my God, so you're Joe Rubenstein. He's like, yep, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But let me tell you, Ruby's about his paper. You better pay that man because he wants his money. He's cool.
He does. He wants his money. He wants his money, but again, he's an inker who's done so much work.
Oh my God. Much. On our next show, I got to talk about Ruby because I have some beautiful pieces done by him, and he's done some really great work for me, commissions.
So, well, why on our next show? Why don't we talk about inkers? Because I can do Randy all day.
we could do Ruby, we could do Randy, and we could do Mick Gray.
Yeah, because like Mike was Murph was saying. Oh, so no, yeah, like Mike was saying. When I first took some books to Randy, I took him some GI Joes, and literally he was like, I've been doing cons for X amount of years, and I have not seen until now a GI Joe book brought to me to sign. And I looked at him and said, "You're just kidding me, right?" He goes, "No, I'm serious." He goes, "Not a lot of people knew that I did some GI Joe, and so I was
right now. I never knew.
Yeah, so I handed him a couple GI Joe books, at the time, and he signed them. He goes, "Hey, you know what?" He goes, "Me and Mike Zeck did this one. Mike Zeck's just right down there." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "No." Sure enough, I look, boom, there's Mike Zeck. Went down there and got Mike Zeck to sign it. And that was one cool thing about Randy is he would always let me know, like, who else is at the Comic-Con, if I wanted to get multiple signatures.
That's a trait of those older guys. Let me tell you right now, that's super dope. I have this, I have a baseball cap that has Wolverine on it, right? Uh-huh. And damn, I forget. I got two people's signatures on it. One of it's Joe Rubenstein, and the other one, I forget the other artist. But Joe told me, hey, why don't you go down to this booth and check out so-and-so? That's also his artwork right there. And they both signed my baseball cap. And that's cool. That's those older guys that'll tell you, hey, you like this art? My buddy over here did that. Go check it out.
And one other thing I just want to say before I forget, because I will forget, was when I met Ron Lim for the first time, I took him a Daredevil cover, and that just blew him away too, because he looked at me and he says, this is the only Daredevil cover they let me do. I'm like, you kidding? He goes, no. He goes, this is the only one. And I go, so you mean I actually had a book that you only did? He goes, yeah. Man, I handed it right to Ron Lim. He signed it. It was great. And he said that was the only issue they ever let him do. And he said at that time he was kind of starting out. And he said he wasn't sure, like, since they didn't call him back, like he thought he did a bad job. And I told him, I said, no, this is one of my favorite covers. Because you got Daredevil on the front, and you got they got the guy, I can't remember the character's name, jumping out of the tree from the shadows coming down on him. And I said, I love that. That's the element of surprise. But, of course, Daredevil can hear him. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was so cool. It's cool when you meet these artists, and they tell you the story behind it. Whether it be the first time they worked on it, or they're just like, I haven't seen this, ages. How, this is so cool. Thank you for bringing it to me. You're just like, oh, thank you for signing it.
I have so many stories that I can tell you about times where similar, where something like that similarly has happened to me. But listen, guys, we're coming up on an hour and 45 minutes now. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who's in the chat, 4A Flashers, liking the covers. We got Eddie the Comic Guy. Tim the Canadian Comic Hunter, Uncanny Kawaka, Gomez. We got so much support today. I really appreciate everybody for coming out. Special shout out and thanks to our buddies who apparently are not here right now, but there's Davis. Davis is popping in again, and Amazing Murphinator.
I'm here. I'm always here.
So I wanted to say thank you to all those guys for coming out. Let me just highlight a couple of guys really quickly. Davis, we're just saying our final goodbyes and thank you. So, Davis.
Sorry for technical difficulties. It's Tennessee internet. It's just bad. I'll try to be more prepared next time.
No, man, it was really cool. Let me tell you, Davis, honestly, like technical difficulties or not, it was really good having you on. I appreciated the time that you could have with us. So thank you, man. Thanks for making it to the show today.
It's good to talk to Davis again.
Hell yeah. Our other special guest who was even a surprise to us.
Yeah.
Amazing Murphinator, my favorite Irishman.
There you go, my favorite Mexican, Cholula. Thanks so much for sending me the invite. I knew you guys were doing this show. I didn't know if I was going to make it home in time. I couldn't do the math in my head. West Coast, East Coast, if it was going to be there. And then lo and behold, I was going to go on some auction. There's like 3 auctions going on tonight.
Yeah, there's so many auctions right now.
Your video popped up in my feed. I'm like, oh, fuck. Chewy's fucking video. All right, let's go. Let's send it in. Let's do it. It's fun. It's always good to talk comics. It's always good to talk about experiences and who you met, this time, autographs. It's just cool to shoot the shit. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That's cool, man. Thank you so much for being on. Honestly, it was a blast. It was an honor. Thank you. AG.
Yeah, thanks for having me as well, even though I jumped in a little late. Somewhat prepared. Not really, I guess. Just thanks to all the guys in here as well. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks for Davis for being on. Thanks for Murph for popping in there as well. It's fantastic. And we'll see what next week brings. We'll see if we do maybe a Saturday again, or Saturdays might be easier than Fridays. I don't know.
Absolutely, brother. All right. And my brother Tat.
Here he is, Tatty Waddy.
Like I was saying, thank you for everyone that showed up in the chat to listen to our stories and to hear some laughs and jokes. Hopefully people are getting a laugh at what we were talking about. And to have Murph and Davis on, that was awesome. I want to see more of that. I want some more of the Hall of Justice brothers to show up, And Chilla, as always, thank you for taking the time to set this up, get this going for us so we can do these live streams. I love this. It means a lot to me. And to see a lot of the old school YouTubers in here, that was great. I don't even like to call them old school. So let's just say, friends I haven't seen in a while. It's great to see them in the chat, And my internet sucks for my tablet because I got 4 kids, so it runs slow. I couldn't really get in the chat and talk as much. So just know I respect all you that are in here. Thank you so much. And just rock on, man. Rock on.
You gotta get those guinea pigs you just bought to fucking go on a wheel and start making more electricity.
That's true. I got 4 of them. Or get my kids to go outside and play more, so I got more internet. Or Davis, do you need to borrow them?
Yeah, guys, man. I just want to say again, thank you to all my brothers for being here. All my brothers from the Hall of Justice. It was a blast. I really had a lot of fun today. We got to talk comics. We got to talk our experiences. We got to talk about our collection, right? And more than anything, we got to talk about our experiences that hopefully all you guys that are in the chat or anybody who's watching this learn from. Just know that our little YouTube comic book community, that's what we're here for, to be able to learn from each other and to grow within ourselves, grow within the hobby, and grow our collections. So if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. That's what we're here for. We don't want you guys to go through the same difficulties that we all did. So again, thanks to everybody who was in the chat today supporting us, everyone who's going to watch this later on the rewind, much love, much appreciated. You already know who it is. It's the whole Hall of Justice here, almost. Not the entire Hall of Justice, but a lot of us are here. And until we see you next time, keep stacking hella comics.
Later.
Lights.